I'm not listening to his house schedule. I'm disrespecting his house schedule. By bothering him when he's trying to, like on the weekends, for example, by bothering him when he's trying to have his breakfast. Sometimes when he eats, he needs to have peace and quiet when he's trying to eat. He can't be bothered when he's trying to have his breakfast. Sometimes he needs his peace and quiet when he's eating it. That's true. Wait until he's done with his breakfast, then call him up. I have a habit for not being patient with Matthew. I know it's hard, but I can at least try. That's true on that part. So I'm being mean with Matthew. I can at least try to be nice for a change. But that's not okay by bossing my boyfriend around. I can at least ease off on the yelling. I mean, that's what's affecting my throat. I'm yelling at him too much. So I need to calm down with the yelling and shouting. So maybe I should. So maybe I say ease up by not snapping at my Matthew too much. Yeah, I think I have been doing that with him. I've been snapping at him quite a lot. That's not good. But when I keep him as a boyfriend, then I need to work on it. I think I'm being too bossy with Matthew, and I think I'm pushing it too hard on him. I think so. But I can't solve it by calling him names. I don't work on it this week with that. But calling my boyfriend a bitch, that is not okay. But telling my boyfriend to shut up, that's not nice to say to him. But tell him to shut up. I mean, I think my father's right when he told me about that. But calling my boyfriend to shut up. But it's not like it's a bad word or anything. It's not foul language. I called Matthew to tell why I told Matthew to shut up. It's because I was just frustrated. I got mad because him helping his mother out. That's why, and him being busy a lot, taking naps. I didn't mean to tell him to shut up. It was an accident. My father wasn't supposed to hear all that. I didn't know he heard it. Maybe because I used my fists, started screaming and shouting at him. And I solved it by telling him to shut up. There was no reason for that. I got frustrated because I didn't want him to help his mother out. I don't want him to take care of Maddie. I just want Maddie to take care of herself. That's why I did that. But Maddie, I know that she's having problems with her back. I know she can't help that. by having Matthew help her with the closets. But even though Matthew shouldn't be going through her stuff. I don't want going to his mother's room and snooping through her closets. He needs to ask permission before he goes through her stuff. You can't pry. Just like Maddie shouldn't be going to Matthew's bedroom. She should ask permission, but not going to his dresser, but going to his underwear. I respect his space with that. But going to his room and giving him a lecture while he doesn't clean his room. I just want Maddie to leave Matthew's stuff alone. Let's get into Matthew's business. Can't worry about Matthew's business. I think Maddie should worry about her own business. By Matthew helping with the jewelry. She could do her own, like the necklace or the earrings. She could do that herself. I don't want Matthew doing that for her. And even Matthew is an adult. He can do things for himself. I don't want Maddie going to his stuff like his DVDs, his clothes, his underwear, everything. Let him pick up for his own mess. See, I can't let my mother go through my stuff in my room. She needs to respect my space, but not barging in here without knocking. My father doesn't do that. And the first year when I was on FaceTime, I caught him when Matthew was on FaceTime. He heard it. He was eavesdropping it because he don't want to hear all that kind of stuff on FaceTime. He hears everything on FaceTime too. When he saw my father come to my room, poking me on the chest and push me against the bed. And he heard me and my father got into a fight right in front of him, and he didn't want to hear all that. You see, when he came down on my mother, she needs to leave her rat shit in her room. Not leave on the island in the kitchen. And no, that's his wife. So you can't yell at your wife. Not supposed to. You cannot use that kind of language in front of my mother like that. Or with me too. That's why I want to be around him, because of his foul language. That's why I stay locked up in my room, so I have to hear all his shouting and screaming and yelling. I don't want to hear that. That's why I want to be in the kitchen, because all that drama he's doing in the living room. And if he wants to do all that, wants to do all that. Like watching his Celtics games. I don't mind me watching the Celtics game. But I do not want him to speak in a high-tone voice. If he wants to do all that, you should watch TV upstairs, not down here.